Welcome back, everyone. Artificially Genuine, episode 27, part 5. Normally, this last video that we normally do is just mental health, but mental health comes in different variations and stuff like that. So today, we're not going to go too many into quotes, but we'll talk about freely, kind of like the struggle of like opening up a business, the goals, like what's your biggest hurdle of starting it? Is it your own mindset to like, should I start now? Should I wait? What are your thoughts on your business?
Young entrepreneurs, bro.
Entrepreneurships.
For me, since it's become my main source of income, what I struggle with the most is proper time management.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And
it's a good one.
And so proper time management, but within that, delegating more important tasks first. Sometimes I get excited about some shit and I forget it was really more important, and I fucking, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, boom, I got to finish this, you know what I'm saying? So that, for me personally,
okay,
you know what I'm saying, that's one of my biggest. But there's a lot of things that people don't realize about going on your own adventure, creating a business, being an entrepreneur. There's so many aspects to it. You're not just an entrepreneur if, for example, like with me, I can only talk about what I do, right? So like photography and stuff like that. You have to know everything that's involved, like the type of work you're doing, the market for that type of work, what the market value for that work is, being realistic about your value. And then understanding different types of personalities, different types of people have different needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's just, you can outsource this if you don't have funds like marketing or building a website, or, you know, just there's so many things that you could talk about. But at the end of the day, like at the core, it comes down to having the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's everything from being self-aware, being a realistic optimist. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I could do this. The other thing is like, you're not realistic about it, bro. Like, come on, you're really gonna make $1 million with no plan in the next 3 months. Like,
exactly.
Not that it's impossible, but is it likely? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just having an idea, looking at, is that attainable realistically in my time frame? If not, what do I have to adjust? How do I need to grow to get there? You know, understanding it's a lot of work, bro. There's a lot of setbacks,
100%.
that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's putting on a bunch of hats, because when you start being a camera guy, then you got to start learning about the business part of it, and then you got to open your personality, and there's like a bunch of hats that you have to put on. But it's like, do you feel just because you've done things and technically they say, let's just say, oh, it's failure, but at the same time, is it failure at the same time? Like, what is something, because I know you kind of, it's not even a failure at that point. It's like learning,
bro. It's
learning,
lesson.
right? Is there any like things that you went through that like, oh shit, like, can you talk about that a little bit, about just like things that you've run across, like that could have stopped you, you know, because there's a lot of things that we did that, oh my God, it's the worst thing. It's like, you have to get through them, you know, type of things.
But let me see if this helps, because a couple of things that I've kind of learned through this whole thing is, you dream and execute.
Yeah.
You can dream all you want, but if you don't execute, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
2 is try to surround yourself with the people that are already doing it, so you're not shooting in the dark.
That's key.
3 is asking for help.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I've never done this before. Can you show me the ropes? Sometimes I don't know how to teach you A to Z, but dude, if you can get a couple things going, those are my key 3. Dream, execute, be around those. Dude, for us, we went in the dark. Like me, I watch YouTubers all the time. So I had an idea. So sometimes you're not going to find it directly with somebody, but the research is there if you look for it.
Yeah. There's always people that want to help.
Yeah.
And there's always people that you can learn from that'll help you without them directly helping you. Like, you be in situations, you know, take a little break and just observe.
Yeah.
I would, for example, I would pull up to the record pop-ups.
Okay.
and I would pull up with my stuff, and I just watch my homies who've been in the game for like 20 years. How do they operate?
Yeah.
I never asked them like, hey, how do you do this or whatever. I just watched them and like, okay, they pull up. They have uh, a certain message, a certain energy, a certain display.
They build bonds.
They build bonds, like a whole lot of things. But just by watching, you can learn a lot.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, I read this book that said that you have to have a master. Like, it sounds fucking weird, like a master, but you have to have a person that you can learn things from. Because I didn't have an older brother. Like, I don't have an older brother. I had to learn this shit on my own. I had to learn from different types of like people that are doing it. Like how you just said, like I had to learn from different people because I didn't have someone to tell me like, hey, bro, don't talk like that because they're going to feel offended. Like I had to learn that shit on my own. Do you have an older brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 years.
12 years?
Yeah, okay. 12 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Are you guys close?
Yeah, we're close.
Awesome.
Is he trying to do what you're doing or no?
Nah, he's not. He's not doing what I'm doing, but he's very creative. You know, like with the videos and stuff. He had a little run with creativity and stuff. Took some jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet. So he kind of taught you some stuff a little bit.
Yeah,
that's good
for sure.
Yeah, it's all about family at the end of the day, and the family you create too. It's like what we're talking about. Like you can create your own family just because you don't have those sources. There's other people like you. There's us that are talking the same thing and trying to learn and give information because like that information can change someone's life, bro. And we gotta. Something I learned is that we got to educate the younger youth and be like, yo, that's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. And that could change someone's fucking life, bro.
Yeah, family ain't always blood related. Sometimes it's just mindset related.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Gem right there.
Have you had to go through some like struggle from the photography portion of it? What's something that you went through like a hardship? You're like, dude, I almost didn't come out of this one.
Thinking I was ready before I was ready.
Okay.
You know, wanting to take all these jobs and spread myself thin and not really knowing what I know now and how to properly give somebody value, you know what I'm saying? Like before I just want to do it all and fucking, you know, and that wasn't the right way. And I struggled with that, not knowing what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And like just trying to figure everything out, you know? So that was like one of my biggest setbacks.
Sticking to one thing?
Sticking to one thing, yeah, for sure.
And getting being a master at it or something? Or
Mm-hmm. Enough time. I feel like we're all capable of doing at least one thing great. But I believe it. You know, you could do 2 or 3 things, but it's just about doing it. Doing both consistently and then just being honest. You know what I'm saying?
No, and try to perfect something. Kind of like I heard this before, where like you can show up to a job, do it for like 2-3 minutes and walk out, and the guy's like, "You're charging me $1,000 for 2 minutes worth of work." It's not 2 minutes worth of work. It's 10 years of experience that got me to those 2 minutes of work.
Yeah.
So it's knowing your value and just like you mentioned it. But
yeah. That's one thing about like something I can implement. This is just about music. Like I've been doing this since I was 15, and like I could do things like I'm not a professional, but I've been doing it for a long time.
You're up there,
and I'm getting there to a point where like I could set up something for you so quick, and it's just like it takes so many hands to do this one thing that if you're in it, you kind of understand like, oh shit, this guy could do it all at one. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it's just learning everything, but like he said, focusing on one thing. I think that's important. That's a big gem.
At least focus on it enough to where you're consistent and able to create results.
Yeah.
And then you could take a little focus off and give that extra energy to something else, to build something else. But a lot of the times, you know, with job schedules and a lot of people who have a different schedule than myself, like I dedicate myself to this. Yeah. That's all I do. I try and figure out a way to eat about it.
Yeah.
But some people, it's harder. Even for myself, when I had a job trying to do it, you got to think about the timeline, like from work to home, and there's a lot of things. So like in certain scenarios like that, at least for people like myself, I would take on one thing. That's one thing I will go back and probably like change up.
Like advice to yourself that you
advice to myself. Yeah.
I want to ask, do you recognize the journey? Because I feel like right now, this process, this struggle is probably going to be the best part. Because once you get to a level where like you can do this in your sleep, is it that much more fun, or is this the fun part?
Yeah, the journey of it. You think?
I think what makes it fun is keeping it fun. Okay. You know, like like if you have a passion about something and you're like, oh, I want to explore. For me, like if I want to explore just this type of photography, and then to like stick to that. Fuck, bro, I lost my train of thought.
You're good, though.
The journey. What's
The
your journey?
Yeah.
Are you happy? You say you're, as long as you can keep it happy, you're good.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel content when I do it in a way where I'm engaged with it.
Okay.
Like I look for things that are interesting from it. And I feel like when you lose that,
excited.
Yeah, it gets you excited. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And because a lot of the times when stuff's new, you're automatically excited, you know, like, I'm doing, you know, I'm creating this podcast. It's fun. But let's say you do it over and over and you look at it differently. The only thing that really changes is your mindset.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Another gym.
For us, luckily for us, we have people like you. We have friends, family that are willing to join us. And it keeps it exciting because it's always new people, new conversations, new mentalities, new perspectives,
new gems, brother. You educated some people. I feel like I'm gonna look back at this one and be like, yeah, actually, that is a gem right there, bro. So that's good, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I say a lot of shit. Sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's just fucking me trying to be funny and shit.
Hey, keep saying it. Keep saying it. So, before we log off, where can people find you if they want your photography?
To hit you up.
Well,
look at your work.
You're gonna hear it first. Right here, for everybody watching, exclusive. I'm gonna be dropping a website soon to be offering my services and stuff like that. Make it crisp and clear so you pull up, know what you're getting as far as value and all that, right? But in the meantime, in between time, first aim, then shoot on Instagram. And you just spell it out. There ain't no, you know, it's just first aim,
underscores, no stars.
We just keep it simple.
Send us the links, photos. We would like to promote as much as we can. So send us everything.
Yeah, man.
But Rick, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a pleasure. And everybody watching, tap in.
Artificially Genuine. We'll be back next week. Yes, sir.